Hit that thing hard. All right. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Josh, if you wouldn't mind.
Be glad to. Please turn and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we've got invocation by Mark Wadka. All right, Jeremy, would you mind doing that for us?
Sure. If you'd please pray with me. Lord, thank you so much that we have an engaged citizen and beach town that are interested in making decisions for our city. We're just pray that you'll have everyone humbly and morally plead their case. We're thankful for the freedoms we have in Florida and the best beach town in Florida. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Jackson.
Here.
Commissioner Hutcherson.
Here.
Commissioner Tumulty.
Here.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Here.
Mayor Capizzi.
I'm here, but I'm not all there.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda with H4 removed from the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
You removed number 4,
Yeah.
you said? Okay.
Do we have any public comment about items that are not on the agenda? Janice?
Good evening, commissioners, attorney, city manager, clerk, new clerk, deputy clerk. Okay, so tonight I want to talk about the meeting last night, the Board of Adjustment shit show. I just want to tell you that after 30 years watching this board, it's a quasi-judicial board where it's like, oh, what can we do for you? That is not their duty. Their duty is to find a hardship according to the state statute. And I'll read a couple of things. They're always like, oh, how can we help you out? The attorney tried her best to straighten them out. I don't know if you need to have a workshop, hammer and chisel about this, especially for people who've been on this board a long time. So in Florida, it says variances are granted when strict application of zoning codes creates a unique, non-self-created hardship generally governed by local ordinances and interpreted through Chapter 163. The key requirements for a variance in Florida are having a unique hardship. That doesn't mean you want it or it would be good or you look up at the sky all the time. It means your hardship must stem from a unique physical condition of your property, the size, shape, or something, rather than a personal circumstance or economic hardship. Oh, I just really want to do it. I can make a lot of money. No. Your property has to be different from your neighbors. It has to be something unique to you. It's not self-created. The hardship cannot be a result of the applicant's own actions, buying a lot known to be too small for its intended use. The public interest. The variance cannot harm public interest or break the spirit of the City of Cocoa Beach Comprehensive Plan and zoning ordinances. Local zoning boards are authorized also under Chapter 163. Administrative variances in Florida statutes allow agencies to grant variances or waivers when the purpose of the underlying statute is achieved by other means or if the rule creates a substantial hardship, technical, economic, or some other sort of legal hardship, which the attorney can guide. And the duration of a variance runs with the land. It's not just something you want. This is terrible. It's embarrassing. And that property that across on the Angelo Canal, that's a joke. I don't care if you get a BTR or not. But I have one last comment. I have one last comment to make.
Go ahead.
To the smart aleck on that board who wants to know, I wear Chanel perfume.
Thank you, Janice. I would like for our planning boards and our board of adjustment to be a little bit more educated on the codes or the variances that we have prior to our meetings. So I don't know if we can maybe have a workshop on that, or maybe, because I know like how we get to meet with the city manager before meetings and stuff like that. Maybe remind them that they can talk to staff and get information on what actual they are allowed to ask and stuff like that. Yes.
There possibly was a little misunderstanding. The hearing that we had last night was not for a variance, it was for a special exception, so there were different standards.
And I'm not necessarily talking specifically about that, but I'm just saying in general, I think our planning boards and our boards of adjustment need a little bit more education prior to the meetings. I think they would go a little quicker. It wouldn't go as long. Just a suggestion. Thank you, Janice. Any other public comments about items that are not on the agenda? All right. Staff reports.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. I have a few tonight. So first, for Ramp Road Park, we're actually waiting to hear back from FDEP before installing the remaining stormwater pipes, but are continuing to work on the parking lot. We're still working through some solutions at the park. The vulnerability assessment's final public presentation is planned to be held May 12th at 6 p.m. The meeting will provide results of the assessment itself, present maps and tables of assets that are at risk to future flooding, and share solutions. Burn ban is still in effect. Even with the rain that we've had here recently, we're still in a severe drought. 90% of the state is in severe extreme drought conditions, plus the freeze has created some additional fire load with all the damaged vegetation, so no burning and no fire pits in the city. The National Weather Service determined that on Monday we had a microburst out at the, near the golf course, Water Rec Center area. The city did sustain some damage to areas around those two areas. Cindy and her staff are exploring insurance and other options to assist in paying for some of the damage. Thanks to Leisure Services and Public Works, because of their hard work, the facilities have been reopened in the storm and everything's operating as normal. The police department had their 2025 awards ceremony last night at the Country Club. They had about 120 attendees. Again, Leisure Services did a great job, and thanks to Commissioner Hutcherson going. Brad Morgan and I met with stakeholders at McNabb Parkway this week regarding solutions for the pervious paver issue on that road. Thanks to Brad and Morgan, we look to be moving forward with those stakeholders with some viable solutions to resolve that issue. And lastly, Brad is still waiting on the final numbers for a possible shower install at Bicentennial Park.
Thank you. City Attorney.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. City Commission.
Was I supposed to get an invite to the police awards?
I think I was invited,
electronic,
but I
read my emails.
I apologize. I would love to have been there as well. I think I missed it on my calendar.
Are we justifying why we weren't there?
I have a comment if
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just wanted to share a little bit. As a family, we had an incident where our absolutely incredible city, we got to experience it personally, how tremendous it is to have trained expert professionals. When it's your family. And it matters. And I just want to say to both chiefs and to the city manager, thank you guys so much. So, thank you.
I was there also. I saw they did a fantastic job. I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. So hopefully everything's
Yeah,
well,
yeah, healthy and good.
Good.
Thank you.
good to know. Yeah, we did have a microburst at the school. It was really kind of crazy. I don't know if y'all have been in the commons at Cocoa Beach High School, most of you probably have, but it was such a whiteout, you could not see across the commons, which is enclosed, for a short period of time. I live on the golf course and I have cameras on my house, and unfortunately the power went out just as this microburst came through, but you could see it coming through right before the power went out, and it was nuts. Stuff started blowing around like it was a tornado. It was a tornado basically coming through. And I know I know you may have something to talk about that later, but it did a lot of damage on the golf course. The tennis courts took a lot of damage. I mean, we just built this, or they just built, put new fencing and tennis courts in, and it got damaged pretty heavily. I'm sure you all saw pictures of that. So, but, congrats to the city staff, just they're on it. We had a huge tree, I'm not sure it was a cedar or something on Lakes Number 5. It's been a pain in my butt for 20-some years. If any, I got to straighten my shot out, right? It's gone. It was like, so there's always a silver lining, right? There's always a silver lining in, in these disasters, right?
The Lord was on your side.
He was right there. So that shot's going to be a little easier going forward. Well, it's spring break next week for the kids, so be on the lookout. Kids are going to be all over, downtown, the beach, everywhere, all day, every day next week. So not just the spring breakers, but Cocoa Beach High School kids. So look out for that. Thank you.
Comment. So Commissioner Jackson, praying for your family. I'm glad things worked out. I'm going to forward you guys an email. I'm hopeful that the budget process is going to be a lot smoother this year. I'm going to give you guys what I submitted to Hannah so you have an insight, so it makes that workshop a lot more productive. But I'll send that on record now. That's it for me.
What?
He's saving it for later.
I could go on.
I know.
Every time we skip.
My wife said, don't say this because it sounds like I'm just making stuff up, but I actually got caught in that microburst driving on 520. Like right after I went through it, Wes called and told me about what happened at the golf course, and I was like, I could have swore I drove through a tornado. It was insane. It was a straight whiteout. I couldn't see 10 feet in front of me. I was driving an RV, and the thing was all over the place. I'm glad that nobody got hurt. I'm glad that we're able to start to clean up. Our maintenance crew's been awesome. You guys have been seeing the emails of the stuff that they've been doing. I really like that. By the way, it's
Marcus, show them where you are.
Marcus.
There you go.
It's awesome. Thank you for that. It's something I wanted to see for a while, so it's awesome. So thank you so much for that. I want to say you're doing a great job, and it also helps to keep people accountable. So thank you.
Okay, I'm going to. So, Saturday before last, we had the time change, and the wildlife doesn't know there was a time change. So I'm going into work an hour earlier, and I'm coming across NASA Causeway. It's a 2-lane road. We got traffic in both directions on a 2-lane road. And these people with their overly bright headlights, and I'm on a curve, and I got these blinding headlights coming at me. If you flash your lights at them and they flash their brights, then you just made it worse. You can't see. And as soon as the car went by, 6 feet in front of my car was a boar hog right in the middle of the road. I mean, it couldn't help but hit him at 50 miles an hour. Car was going whoppity, 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 whoppity. I go, man, this thing really tore up my suspension, And then it popped out the back. So I drug it for 100 and some yards. And you could smell it within 10 seconds inside the car with the AC off. blood and guts and everything all over the car and the windshield and everything. Turned out to be $3,000 worth of damage, so let's get rid of the time change.
Or get a truck with a steel bumper.
Well, that was insightful, thank you.
Do you need a second?
We will,
You need a second for that? Are we voting on that?
No time change in Cocoa Beach. Or
yeah.
Brevard County, I guess. You weren't in Cocoa Beach.
All right, let's temporarily recess for our CRA, and we'll start with our CRA now. All right, item 1.
Okay, item 1, discuss adding brick pavers on Brevard Avenue. Staff Representative Westmoreland, City Manager.
Okay, so,
Oh, go ahead. Oh, we got to move to discuss.
oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Second.
Motion and a second, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, excuse me. Brad, can you come up, please? So last meeting, I believe it was Commissioner Williams suggested that we come back with a price for the pavers on Brevard Avenue, so Brad's got some information for you.
Good evening, Commissioners. So for the pavers, the sand, and the gravel that would be required to do this job, we're looking at about $16,000. I chose the pavers that we have on our sidewalks now. If that's a consensus to use, we'll do that. I don't know if you want different style pavers or anything like that, but that's roughly what it's going to cost.
What street to what street?
Minuteman to 4th Street North. Yeah.
That's because we're doing the work.
Right? Brad, or is that
Just the
Our guys are gonna do the
east
work.
side of the road.
I think it's a no-brainer, guys.
Where the grass is. then.
yeah,
Well,
what, that
it's
thought of.
supposed to be grass.
Because the grass is never there, it's
Yeah.
full of weeds, it'll keep sand out of the road. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
So if we engraved the bricks at 25 cents per person's name, get it for free?
Potentially.
So we're doing it ourselves. you said.
That's the plan, yes.
That's the material cost, 16,000.
So do we have experienced folks? I mean, they'll be experienced by the time they get to the last block doing it.
It's not that.
For sure.
It's not rocket science.
It is and it isn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it's trim work, yeah.
It is, and it is. I
But
mean,
because
doing
they've
it, I'm just saying, I'm not judging our crew on doing pavers, but that's not something we do on a regular basis.
You're correct, and I have confidence that they can do a good job. The first couple might take a little longer until we get used to it, but
Yeah.
as we move along, I have confidence they can do
Watch a
it.
couple YouTube videos.
And the
we're
other
good to go.
thing is,
Right.
they have a curb on one side and sidewalk on the other side, so they don't have to do the edging to keep the bricks from falling off either side. That's the hard part.
I would add that if they do this and we get this kind of experience, we have these pavers
And we got it.
elsewhere. We have the ability to do repairs
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of a smart add
I
to
agree with
their
that
skill set.
concept.
I think Brevard's a good corridor. We could make that, last year the parade got canceled because the FDOT shut down A1A, snafu, but you can potentially do those exercises on Brevard, and it's all within the city
Yeah.
scope.
Did we do it in-house for the alleyway between
Behind-
Orlando and,
Tiny Turtle?
no. Between Orlando and Atlantic,
Skip either lane.
from First
Oh,
to
yeah.
Fourth Street.
Scapular.
I wasn't here for
That
that,
was a
I'm not sure.
grant.
Yeah, but who did it? That's what I was wondering.
It was
Did
a
we do it
con- it
in-house
was
or
a
do we have?
contractor.
It was a contractor, okay.
I've moved to
Because that was a lot. That was-
support funding.
Okay.
I support funding. I also want to throw, do we want
Was
to?
that a second?
That was a second. Do we want to consider like some kind of light post, solar powered light post as well? I mean, do we want
Let's
to?
go baby steps.
Okay, pavers, I second that, yeah.
I'd be for that, though, in the future, for sure.
It's a nice corridor, it's nice and wide. I think there's,
I mean, if you look at what they did with
Yeah.
Ocean Beach Boulevard, like especially down in Cape Canaveral, Cape Canaveral really did it
they
right.
did a great job, yep.
Brevard is probably our worst-looking street in Cocoa Beach. I mean, with the pavers and maybe some more decorative lighting over there, I think we could have the same appeal. So I agree. We'll start with the pavers and we'll see how it goes from there. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to make sure for the record, it's going to come half from CRA funds and half from general funds, just on the record, just so
Okay.
the commission's aware.
And why is that?
Because
In
we,
the CRA.
yeah, we thought we had enough spare in the CRA this year, but we don't. That's actually budgeted, so we're going to go half and half.
Okay,
That's going to be the best way for us to do it.
all right, thank you.
All right.
All right, any public comment, or?
Can I just add one thing?
Yes,
There are spots along that road where the sidewalk is higher than the curb, so we need to be very careful on that slope, that we're not violating ADA policies, so that's gonna be the biggest challenge for us when we install these,
okay.
so.
Any other public comment? Go ahead. Yeah, sure, yes, please.
Yes, Don Haynes. I was just curious, you mentioned $15,000, but how much does that work out to per square foot?
We're going to be doing, it's whatever the cost of the brick and the sand is,
Plus labor to your employees, labor.
our employees, but
It's a quarter mile by about 3.5 foot. You want to do the math?
How long?
It's a quarter mile.
That's $3.22 a square foot.
No, it's actually a half a
Well,
mile.
that's reasonable.
Right.
Well, wait a minute, you could add in your fear. In
half
other
a
words,
mile.
the going rate, what I pay for is about $6.50 a square foot, labor and all materials, and I was just wondering if you were in that ballpark, it might be. No, my mind don't work as quick as Skip's. I need a calculator. But anyways, I'm just saying what the market is $6.50 a square foot, so you guys do the math and
$4.
that'll tell you.
Roughly $4.
$4.
That's all, thank you.
thank you.
We got the quote for 5,000 square feet, just, if we have to cut bricks and anything.
322.
325, yeah.
All right.
I'm not good at public math, but I'm kind of good.
Any other public comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, hold on. I see- Tim?
I got one thing to say. So we put these pavers in, just like we put the pavers in this beautification we did 10, 12 years ago, and we didn't maintain it. It's got to be maintained.
Yeah.
As long as we got a plan to maintain it, I'm 100% on it.
I agree with you 1,000%.
All right, well,
All right.
The form I sent you for my budget inputs focuses on that. I think that's the
Thank
key
you.
thing for the city.
Very good.
We need-
And I will say that Wes has been very, very receptive and understanding and agreeing with, we need to make sure that we start maintaining our stuff better. So I have no doubt with Wes in the helm that our maintenance is gonna just go up from here. So, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. All right. Yeah, where is
There you go.
it on here? All right. We will reconvene. Consent agenda.
Okay, this is item H, consent agenda. Item 1, approve the March 5th, 2026 commission meeting minutes, staff representative, city clerk department. Item 2 was pulled on 3/17/2026. Item 3, approve contract extension agreements to award bidders under CB 23-001, continuing services for minor construction projects for a period of 1 year to expire March 31, 2027. Staff Representative Taylor Matallo, Project Manager, recommendation approve. Item 4 was just tonight. Item 5, approval of proclamation Tuskegee Airmen Commemoration Day, March 28, 2026.
Move to approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes 5-0. H4.
Okay, this is item H4. It's items removed from the consent agenda. Approve the amendment to the development agreement between the City of Cocoa Beach and EKS Sooner One LLC. Staff Representative David Dickey, Development Services Director, recommendation approve.
Move to approve.
Second. So the reason I'll go first, Mayor. The reason I pulled this, I just wanted to have further discussion on, make sure we understood. Last time we had the first reading of the impact fee, the motion, I believe, was to provide an exemption to this property, and it didn't get a second. So we're effectively doing that with this revision to their development agreement. So I just want to have that discussion open with the commission.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree with that. I still am not for the extra impact fees, but I agree with this. So I just want to be fair to everybody that's going to be doing projects. That's just my thought on that. But yes, I'm fine with this.
I want to hear, you guys, any input?
David, you could just explain for,
It's just they've already been in the mix for so long, and they just
And they're
finally
the
got.
only
Yeah.
one that's outstanding of all the development agreements.
Yeah.
Good evening. Yeah, I was unclear as to exactly what the direction of the commission was, so I went back and watched the YouTube video to see specifically what was stated. And it was clear that the commission wanted staff to take a look at the language and perhaps looking at the timing of collection of impact fees. It seemed to be the discussion targeted the 3 or 4 projects that were the subject of a development agreement. And as we discussed, 2 of the 3 that are still alive and well are, one's the Weston, that's under construction, so that's kind of off the table. The other was Westgate, and that's really being rethought, and we'll be going back through and generating a new development agreement. So that one is kind of null and void. And in fact, the developer never signed the initial one that was approved by the city. So it's also null and void. And the third one was the drift, and actually it was, I'd love to say it was my idea, but it wasn't. But I think it was a very good approach. I think we were accomplishing what the commission, at least as far as I could gather, what the commission's intent was to take a look at the DA projects and those that were far enough along into the process to exempt from the collection. And so that's what we're doing in effect with the amendment to the DA. I will let the commission know that I've had conversations with Cole Oliver, who was their attorney, who was here last time that we discussed this, and I actually gave him a draft of the agreement, and he was happy with it and fine. He actually, as you can see, he didn't even feel like he needed to be here. So I think that's a pretty strong signal. But I think we're meeting the intent of the commission and just kind of singling out that final last development agreement project that's going.
Thank you for that, Dave.
yeah, I think this one makes a lot of sense. I think this is in particular, a project that has leaned forward on behalf of the city in a number of ways. And so I think with how far they are in and what they've already offer, what they offer to the city as a development, to what the owner and the project have done to contribute to the city already, I think this is a no-brainer.
All right, any public comment? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Unfinished business.
Okay, this is item 1 under unfinished business. Adopt ordinance 1709 on second reading. An ordinance of the City of Cocoa Beach, Florida relating to municipal impact fees, creating Chapter 8 Impact Fees of the City of Cocoa Beach Code of Ordinances. Adopting the City of Cocoa Beach 2026 Municipal Impact Fee Study dated January 26, 2026. Providing legislative findings related to police impact fees, providing for the imposition, collection, and use of police impact fees, providing definitions and legislative findings relating to fire impact fees, providing for the imposition, collection, and use of fire impact fees, providing definitions and legislative intent related to general government impact fees, providing for the imposition, collection, and use of general government impact fees, providing for conflicts, codification, severability, and an effective date. Staff Representative David Dickey, Development Services, recommendation adopt on second reading.
Move to approve J1 is read.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment? Janice, go ahead.
Well, Janice Scott, Cocoa Beach, it'd be nice if the staff could restate a couple of things about the impact fees when the ordinance is on the agenda, first or second reading. Seems that there's been some discussion about exactly what is the fee. Is it 1/4 of, I don't want to make an example, but could somebody tell us what the impact fee is exactly?
Sure.
1/4, is it 1/4 of 1%? 1/4 of
It was more like
100%?
0.87%. At least of the drift project it would have been. Go ahead, down, if you want to,
Well, I can just say what it says in the package. It says that based on an analysis contained in the study, the impact fee calculation for a single-family residence is $1,080 for police, $1,034 for fire, and $946 for general government, which is a total of $3,060.
in addition to about $6,000 in impact fees and connection fees that they are paying. So a single family will pay about $9,000, $10,000 to build.
And their building probably going to cost them $500,000 to $600,000, so the percentage is
You don't get
not that great.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me start off. Right now, you know Don Haynes, Cocoa Beach. I've been building for 50 years. This will probably be my last year. I've been saying that for 10 years. But anyways, I'm building a house in the county, permit value $850,000. One in Cocoa Beach, $850,000. Just the building permit in the county was $3,200. In Cocoa Beach, $6,400. That's pretty substantial. So I always like asking politicians, what do you think the total permit, impact fees, everything are to build a single-family house in the county? Roughly, they're all around the same.
15?
It's $20,000. And everybody talks about affordable living. $20,000 at 5% is $107 a month for 30 years. That's pretty substantial, I think. Personally, most builders that I know, and I've been around a long time, they're just going to add it to their cost. It's no different than buying drywall or nails. At the bottom of the line, they're going to add their percentage of cost and overhead and everything. So you can see where it can easily add up. Now, I don't know where all this money's going between permit fees to put out a permit actually in the building department. $6,000 seems like a lot of money. You know, I know certain people got to review it and write it up, but that is a great amount of money. So have fun with it, boys. I mean, sooner or later, we taxpayers, which if we add permit fees is the taxpayer, we're not an ATM machine. The ATM machine is broke, you know, for the average person, not for most people in Cocoa Beach. But these young people today, I don't know how they can do it with those kind of fees and paying per month, that kind of money. By the way, Keith, you're the closest government person I ever heard that to getting the right amount for the total cost to build a house. I've had county commissioners tell me, oh, it's between $3,000 and $5,000. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I own a lot of properties and I know a lot of people that build, so I understand that it is a added barrier to entry. So again, it doesn't just affect people with commercial properties, it affects residential people that are just trying to build their house here. So any other public comment on this? Any commission comment?
I'm going to support this. I think, I mean, the cost is still there. They're going to pay it whether they come in their ad valorem taxes or in these impact fees. So the cost to operate the city for those services is going to be the same. So whether it's impact fees or it's just built into an increase in the millage. So not like we're charging, we have to legally reconcile with the cost of service. So the city can't profit from impact fees.
I mean, should we go back and charge all the other residents, extra because the new people have to pay it to make it fair? I mean,
There's a rational argument to say that if you have the opportunity to fix something, because you didn't fix it before, you shouldn't fix it now. I don't think that holds.
I just feel like it's double taxation again. Anything we can do to make sure that we're getting stuff built so that we can get our yearly taxes on the tax roll, to me, it makes more sense. And we're pretty much built out. So you're talking about minimal projects, just maybe 5 possible lots left that could actually get paid for, and it's not a huge add to our coffers and we're gonna. It is an extra barrier. So
On one side, we're saying it's not a big deal.
Right.
But on the other side, we're saying residents should carry that. We're drastically out of line with other cities in terms of the impact fees we had. We saw the research, right? The research says that we are out of line and we're levying this cost on residents who it's not their bill to pay. So if it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. But the right person who shouldn't be paying this not a big deal is the person who's driving the impact. We see that the impact, when we talk about being a barrier to entry or prevention, the study that they performed said it's not. In fact, there are many other beach towns and other municipalities who have drastically more impact fees, and that it hasn't slowed growth at all discernibly. And so I look at this, and in reality, if, as Commissioner Hutcherson mentions, somebody's going to pay for this. And if we argue that the residents need to pay for this because it's an investment that they get a return on, we haven't seen that in the budget. We haven't seen our residents getting the breaks from the increase in development. So if it's not a big deal, then let the person who owes the bill pay the bill. But if it is a return on investment, show me where.
I didn't say it wasn't a big deal.
Residents haven't got a
though.
reduction.
I didn't say it wasn't a big deal. I said it is a big deal, but I'm saying you're talking about making it a big deal for 5 properties.
That's the person who should be paying for it, not the residents who aren't getting the benefit or the return on investment that we haven't seen.
They do when they come online and start paying their property taxes. That's the thing.
We have been going up in millage, we have been going up in the payments that residents have been making year after year. I'm not seeing the return. I'm not seeing the reduction. We can say that, but it's not happening.
It's not how it works, but that's.
I mean, at the end of the
sorry.
day, there's a fixed amount of service they need to get. It's just, does they get an upfront fee that subsidizes some of that capital investment? I mean, you can almost look at it as cash financing or debt financing. Do you want the current users to pay for it with an impact fee, or do you want the future users to pay for it with increased taxes? But that, let's take the drift, for example, that $400,000. If they don't pay that impact fees, they're gonna pay that ad valorem. So we're gonna nudge up the millage rate for everybody to cover that $400,000 of service.
No,
I'm not down for that.
They're commercial, so they're gonna,
But it will be blended in with the rate. So I will do everything, I will always vote for residents, lower cost to keep Cocoa Beach residential. And I think this is a key thing to do it.
all right. So, yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, you mentioned that, hey, we've got 5 properties, under 10, there's probably more than that. So what does this do for us short term? Not a whole lot. What does it do for us long term? What if something happens where we have a catastrophic event? Does that impact, do we have impact fees when we rebuild?
Depends if it was natural disaster.
Natural disaster?
Natural disaster is exempt.
I don't know.
Same with building codes and amounts of units.
I'd rather hear if that's an issue or not, I don't know. Just
Good afternoon. Joe Williams from Reftelis. We performed the impact fee study. Typically, if there was a natural disaster, you would grandfather those properties into redeveloping and not charging additional impact fees.
All right.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right, so there's no, right. So it is just for a handful of properties?
No, if somebody decides to tear down
Oh, yeah.
6 500 square foot mom and pop motel, hotel, apartments, and build something grandiose at 15 to 2,500 square foot per unit, they're going to pay this fee.
Yeah, any growth.
Or an improvement on their property?
If they add square
A
footage.
significant improvement?
Yeah, the way we have it set up from a residential standpoint, it's house for house. So if you're going to put in an addition, let's say a second floor on an existing single-family home, there aren't going to be any impact fees. It's a house, you get credit for a house. On the commercial side, yeah, it'll be the difference between what's there, you'll get credits for what's there versus what is going to be constructed after the redevelopment project. So you'll get credits for, and if it's an office building today and they want to build a retail center, well, we'll give credits based on the office use and you'll get those credits and apply them against the retail credits. So, yeah. And we don't have many what I call greenfield sites left in the city, such like an example. I was talking to Mark Granger today. You guys know Mark. He and a couple of his partners are looking at doing a project on what we call the Mercado property. Well, I always assumed that was a vacant tract historically. Well,
No.
in fact, it's not.
Mark corrected me on that. So that's a perfect example of a greenfield site, which is in fact not a greenfield site. They'll probably get credits based on, I think it may have been office use there perhaps. So there really are very few true greenfield sites left in the city, I agree. And even the Drift, another example, there was some development there. So if we were going to apply impact fees, they would have got a credit for whatever was there.
All right, and then just one other thing I wanted to just throw out there, and you don't have to answer, but I mean, how many of you guys actually talk to people that this would affect, developers or people that are wanting to do projects in the city? So I've talked to most of them, and they've all said that this would set them back a little bit for what they wanted to do. So just throwing that out there. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor?
It's a roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Commissioner Jackson.
Aye.
Hutcherson.
Aye.
Commissioner Tumulty.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Aye.
Mayor Capizzi.
Nay.
4-1.
All right, new business.
Okay, this is item 1. Approve the following dispatch service interlocal agreements: Brevard County Sheriff's Office, tri-agreement with Brevard County Commissioners, Brevard County Sheriff, Brevard County Fire Rescue, Tyler Technology Agreement, added 3/18/26, Staff Representative Chris Kuhn, Police Chief Justin Grimes, Fire Chief, recommendation approved.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Go ahead, guys.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. I appreciate you having us tonight. A little backstory. The purpose of this being on the agenda is not the fire chief and I pushing for the consolidation. This is currently a House bill and Senate bill that's moving forward. And the purpose of the bill is requiring every county in the state of Florida to consolidate their 911 PSAP centers. Knowing that was coming in the future, we started a conversation with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, who currently operates out of the EOC in Rockledge, a massive, beautiful new EOC operation. And we also started a conversation with a couple of other municipalities in the county that are already dispatched by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. This is an opportunity for our current employees and dispatchers to have a seat at the table, so to speak, and that we can get employed, and that we are not in a long list of, in a long queue of PSAPs that are closing eventually and trying to get them hired. So that's why we are one of the first in the county to make the move.
Thank you. Did you want to say something, Wes?
Yeah, I just want to be clear, that bill got pulled back this year. It is anticipated to go through again next year, which is why we're making the move now. Okay? And I think Chief Grimes has some comments as well on the fire side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the fire side that I can speak of is centralized dispatch is something that we've kind of always needed from an operational standpoint. And when I say that, I mean that we have multiple municipalities, multiple organizations that all work together, and we have multiple dispatch centers. There's a lot of overlap, duplication, and things can sometimes get lost. So for us operationally, from a fire and EMS standpoint, they have EMDs, things like that. It just streamlines everything and makes sure that we get the right resources on the calls, and we're not doing a pass-through behind the scenes to get everything there. So for us operationally, it really makes sense on the fire side.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, it makes no sense, it makes perfect sense cost-wise. For the residents, there's zero impact. This will actually be an improvement of service, correct? Or is that a fair assessment or transparent to their?
On the fire side, yes. The reason be is that the call, we'll be dealing with one dispatch center, not multiple dispatch centers. So for the fire side, it'll streamline things.
Same for law enforcement. If we, God forbid, have a mass casualty incident, active shooter incident, we're working through the same PSAP. We're not communicating through multiple PSAPs to get incoming units to where they need to go.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's just, I won't give out a specific number, but it is a substantial cost savings to the city.
Yeah, this is one of those where I think it's just smart, proactive leadership on y'all's behalf. It improves the cost position for the city, increases the quality of service, and then I think a meaningful kudos here, it takes care of our folks, our employees. It gives them that early seat at the table, the early opportunity. I think that's just smart and good looking out for our people.
I appreciate that. I'd also like to educate Mayor Commission that Sheriff Wayne Ivey and his team they've bent over backwards for us. They've been fielding countless phone calls from multiple directors within our city, the city manager, and they're constantly picking up, always answering, getting us answers ASAP, as quick as we possibly can educate our current employees. And they've really rolled out the red carpet, and I can say, without knowing, that they are putting other projects on hold to accommodate us, and it's obvious. So we're very thankful to everybody over at the sheriff's office.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got a pretty good relationship with Ivy as well. We had talked about this probably at least a couple months ago, and it seemed like it was a good thing for everyone. So I'm glad it's all working out, and glad he's taking care of us as well. So thank you, Sheriff Ivy, for that. Any other public comment on this? Any commission comment on this other than that? Okay. All right. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Number 2.
Okay, this is new business number 2, Thunder on Cocoa Beach, request for in-kind sponsorship not to exceed $5,000. This is not a budgeted item. Requester Jenny Pruitt, Freedom Fighter.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Any public comment?
Yes. Sorry.
Figured Janice would probably want to say something on that.
One thing I am is consistent. Number one, it's unfunded, this $5,000. It's 2 months after the beginning of turtle nesting season. And one thing I didn't see anywhere is, did they get an approval from the state yet? Because when they got permission from the port, there's no document about their having been approved by the state yet. So it just seems like, move the date. That's all I'm asking. And not spending unfunded money. Taxpayers don't all approve of these things, so thank you. You're having how many Class 3 events this year? This is a big one. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Any other public comment? Okay. I know, Janice, I love oats. And I love this event. I think it's an awesome event. I look forward to it every year. It's probably the biggest block party we have. It brings in thousands, tens of thousands of people to the city, spending probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in the city. I think this is a great event, and I support it. Even though it's not funded, we could figure out a way to make it work, in my opinion. Any other commission comment?
I've been involved with it, and I know Jenny's in the audience and has been doing this for close to 10 years now, roughly, and it's a great event. And it does bring tens of thousands of people here every year, and I would say closer to $1 million, for sure. So it's, to me, $5,000 is nothing for this. The return is not just monetary, but it's also good for the residents as well. They enjoy it as well.
They do,
So,
yeah.
it's worth 50 cents a resident to have the boat show, or the boat races.
Yeah. I'll pay your 50 cents extra if you want. I'll give you.
Yeah, Jess, I'll cover it. I'll pay for the next 5 years. That's good.
You know what? I'm gonna let you speak.
I did not
Go ahead. No, that's all right.
oppose
Just
the
let her go.
boat thing. I only ask that the date be moved out of turtle nesting
That's
season.
not all you asked.
Thank you. Jenny, that's not possible, right? To move it in the future? Yes, please.
Their schedule is already set.
I'm just saying in the future. In the future.
So I'm actually not a director for Thunder and Cocoa Beach. We're the official charity, so
Okay.
that's a little out of my pay grade. I know the Hotel Association picks that weekend. They're part of that decision, bringing people into downtown for a specific time and reason. So that would be a director question, though.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Janice, I'll ask them if there's a way that can happen in the future. Thank you. All right, public comments closed. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. City Attorney, K2,
K3.
or K3?
It's K3.
K3.
Okay, discuss and provide scope for 520 landscape beautification project. Staff Representative Taylor Motolo, Project Manager Brad Calzo, Water Reclamation Director. Recommendation, discuss.
Move to discuss K3 is read.
Second.
Motion and a second, go ahead, Brad.
Good evening, Mayor Commissioners. First, I wanted to introduce Taylor Motolo. She is the city's project manager. She's been with us for
6 months.
6 months now. So you're going to start seeing her face and bringing items to you. So there's Taylor. We are basically here tonight to kind of get more guidance from the City Commission, some more clarity as to the extent and scope of the 520 median beautification project that's currently in our budget. We have $100,000 budgeted for this project, and we are going to be working with FDOT on it. We have to follow all of FDOT's rules. They require signed and sealed plans from a landscape architect for any reimbursable construction costs. They do have a grant available, but they do not cover the design cost. So the $100,000 this year would all be for design costs, and theoretically we can start construction next year on it. But we're just looking for the extent of the project. Do you want us to go from Peoples Bridge to Ocean Beach Boulevard, from the Relief Bridge to Ocean Beach Boulevard, or CCH? You know, what area do you guys want staff to focus on so we can start running with this project?
And so you're also saying, Brad, that it's not a match grant that FDOT has, it's actual, they cover the whole thing as long as we follow their rules and provide them with the plans.
Yep, the funding only covers eligible construction costs.
Okay. All right. Any commission comment on it?
Where is the Cocoa Beach sign? Is it the hospital? Like a welcome to Cocoa Beach sign?
We don't have one right now.
East of the hospital.
It was where the Bicentennial Park is.
Where the park was, yeah.
No, they took it down.
Okay, that's right, okay. I mean, to me, that's a logical place to start it, if that's the question today, but, I mean, like I said, this was the focus I want to put for maintenance. I think this is key to have folks coming over.
Yes.
Canaveral is putting us to shame.
Yeah.
You know, they really are. Walk down Ridgewood, it's, you know, they've done a great job with landscaping and solar powered lights and paved walkways. And so, yeah, I support this. I would think a natural starting point of that scope would be that.
Bicentennial.
Yeah, Bicentennial.
My original thought was Bicentennial as well. But if they're going to pay for the whole thing from the bridge east.
But that's not a guarantee. If you ask for, basically Bicentennial's half the distance.
All right.
So if you only ask for half of it, you might get it. If you ask for the whole thing, you might get none.
Fair point. I agree. Okay. You guys all think about.
I think it makes sense.
And I think it should go,
From
I think it should go to A1A.
I think we
I
can
like
ask
that.
the designer to give us both options.
I'd like to go all the way to Ocean Beach Boulevard with it. I mean, we've got, when a lot of people drive through and they go straight to Ocean Beach Boulevard, so I think it makes sense for Bicentennial.
Let's move the bus stop too.
Okay.
I do, just thinking out loud, and engineer, not designer, so humor me. But if we start it where Cocoa Beach sign starts, and you have that pronounced effect of you're coming into Cocoa
Right,
Beach.
right.
If it's from the bridge on, not as visually pronounced, I don't have an issue either way.
And that was
Just thinking out loud.
That was my initial thought, actually, too, was, you know, if it changes all of a sudden at Bicentennial, nice park,
Yeah.
nice landscaping, oh, we're coming into something new, I think that makes sense. I mean, we don't need to pay for the bridge because it's not really.
And
Cocoa Beach.
we'd need upkeep on all of that.
Yeah.
So if we have the pronounced effect, we have it at the start of the sign, and we have half as much to upkeep, the effect and the cost makes.
And I think if we did that section, that what we have set aside right now will definitely cover all of that, design work.
The design.
Yes.
But so then that puts us on a clean roadmap to implement that. The design is not going to expire.
right.
That we can then implement the next 5 years, the next year, whatever we have an appetite.
He says that if we can get this design done soon, he can actually apply this year
Yeah.
for that grant, so that,
Grant portal closes June 30th.
yeah, so I'd like to try to get that going.
I doubt you'll have the design by June 30th.
Yes, he will.
The design has to be approved, has to go through the approval process with FDOT.
Right.
There's at least a month.
I'm gonna make him do it.
Well, I will have to bring a firm back to you guys at next meeting if I can get a proposal that quickly
Okay. Well, great.
for approval.
Thank you.
Let's try it.
Any,
I like it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I wanted to say one more thing is that not only I think is there state funding available, but there may also be some county funding available for our district in the county. Because when they did Merritt Island, FDOT didn't pay for all that. Chuck, what was Chuck's last name? No, the
County.
Nelson, Chuck Nelson.
Nelson, yeah.
He was the hammer on that and got a bunch of money for the county commission to do that. So there's other places we can look
That's a good idea.
when it comes to the funding.
All
And
right.
if we can match half county, half state, maybe it'll go through easier, I don't know, but it's not gonna happen by June 30th.
Yeah, well. All right, thank you. You guys can sit down, thank you.
Taylor, thank you so much.
Yeah, we're gonna have public comment and then we'll vote on it, but yeah, is this something we're voting on? Okay, yes, Bicentennial East to Ocean Beach. Thank you. All right. What else we got? Number 4. City Attorney, number 4.
Okay, this is item 4, adopt ordinance 1712 on first reading. An ordinance of the City of Cocoa Beach, Florida, changing the start time for regular meetings of the City Commission to 6 p.m., providing for conflict, severability, non-codification, and an effective date. Commission Representative Jeremy Hutcherson, Commissioner. Recommendation, adopt on first reading.
Move to approve K4 as read.
Might.
So I'll say
Really?
this.
I couldn't believe it.
You said a second before me. I wanted to have this platform, my number one priority is to have resident engagement. So if this doesn't work for residents, but it's been mentioned before, I think it gives some relief to a staff, but at least we've got a talking platform that folks can chime in. And I'm impartial, I can meet 6 or 7, but like I said, we've mentioned it a few times. I wanted to get that platform out there.
I'm not for it because like you said as well, a lot of people get off work at 5, 6, something like that.
And where are they?
Well, but there is.
Thank you very much for being here.
But when there is.
But we're not going to get any more here at 7. We're at 7 than we are at 6. That's the thing.
I mean, if it.
It's really not a thing.
If it does pertain to them, but a lot of people, I guess, don't care. But that's one point, and for me also, it's getting ready to be summer. It's going to be dark at 9 o'clock soon, so I try to take advantage of as much light as possible, trying to get my projects done. So, any public comment on this?
Get up earlier.
You want
Yeah.
you done with public comment?
Yeah. Public comment's closed.
Public comment's closed. I'd like to either add or make a motion to amend that right now we have in our rules and procedures somewhere that says if we, like in the old days, and I sat through a lot of them, if we got to 9 o'clock and we were still going and we had half the agenda left.
Pull that back.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
Was it 10 o'clock?
It is 10 o'clock right now.
So bring
It's
that
10
back
o'clock.
by an hour.
Well, let's bring it back to 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if we start at 6, the most we can go is 3 hours. So these poor staff people won't have to sit here past 9 o'clock.
Is that a
We kept the
motion
story
on
time
that?
with Skip.
I got to say, every meeting I was in that went past 10 o'clock, I voted against going past 10 o'clock.
And I motioned that we.
But it always happened that we went past 10 o'clock.
I gotta say, I've been
Get the
pretty good
motion
at
to finish.
keeping it. to
Now you got
an
3
hour.
new guys and no one, we never even come close to
I know.
I mean, you guys are happy with me, right?
you used to-
About an hour, we're good.
Well, we used to have.
Okay, do I need to,
We gotta listen to
We gotta
Skip
do
talk
some
for
more
another 10
comments
minutes though.
about this, 'cause
do I
we-
need an amendment, or can we just have that brought back for the second read? Added for the second reading?
You just need to tell us what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And then
3
the
hours
second,
after the
it can
start.
be
Whatever it is, it needs
changed.
to be 3 hours.
3
from
hours
start
after
to
the
finish.
start.
Yeah, so it's 9 o'clock. We have to vote at 9 o'clock if we're gonna go past the clock.
And we did get rid of daylight savings time, right?
I did that already.
I tried.
Yeah, thank you.
Save the hogs.
Thank you, Skip.
All right. All right, so public comments closed. Commission comment, any more commission comment?
I'm good.
So you guys are not in favor of that, right? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
All opposed? Nay.
Oh, my gosh.
he's gotta get his projects done.
Hey, I can't
all about
agree
Keith.
with you guys all the
Well,
time.
it's all about you. I mean,
That was about me.
Yeah, of
100% that
course.
was about me.
Who?
And I tried to blame it on the residents. But it didn't work.
No.
You guys saw right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we do? We moved it to 6?
Thank you, gentlemen, for moving this up.
Moved it to 6.
Been pushing this for 10 years.
Well, you got your wish.
Thank you, Jeremy.
All right.
Nice work, Commissioner.
All right, yeah, thanks a lot, Jeremy. Number 5.
Okay, this is,
We gotta go, we're gonna go to your house at 5 in the morning.
All right. It's already past 8 o'clock.
Number
With
5.
your projects, is that what we need to do?
Yes, if you
Go.
could.
okay, this is item 5, adopt ordinance 1713 on first reading. An ordinance of the City of Cocoa Beach, Florida, adopting the latest version of the International Property Maintenance Code as amended herein, providing for the repeal of the prior inconsistent ordinance and resolutions, incorporation into the code, severability, and an effective date. Staff Representative Brian Palmer, Deputy Development Services Director, recommendation adopt on first reading.
Move to approve K5 as read.
Second.
Motion and a second. Janice, do you want to know more about this? Could we get, okay, hold on. Go ahead, Janice, go ahead.
This is what's changing. It was in the agenda.
Okay, fine. My question has to do with someone from the building, maybe Dave Dickey could explain. Why are we under the International Building Code? I mean, people ask me that all the time. So, it says, according to the International Building Code. The attorney's going to answer, thank you.
Okay, it's the International Property Maintenance Code, and it is what virtually all cities use. The Florida doesn't have its own property maintenance code, and this is just the standard. What can I say? I don't know why it's named that. I assume it's used in other countries too.
Thank you. Dave, do you want to go through some of this stuff that Yes, sir. Janice would like it. Let's make Janice happy.
I'll take care of it, Dave. Good evening. We have already adopted the International Property Maintenance Code, or you individuals have actually. And this is just to update what we adopted before. We were outdated. We wanted to adopt or move it up to the 2024. There was a couple sections in there that don't exist in the International Property Maintenance Code, so we had to put it in here that it just doesn't exist anymore. So we had to get rid of those, and we deleted some of the sections that we don't need, like creation of an agency. We already have an agency that enforces this. And fees, you've already approved fees. And then the others are just to input some information for us, like 12 inches for grass height and stuff to that effect, just to mirror our code.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Any other public comment? Any other commission comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Motion passes 5-0. Guess that's